Welcome back, new and returning viewers, to episode 8 of Talking Timbers. And today we're match previewing the Vancouver Whitecaps game, which is happening in only a few hours. Therefore, I've skipped the intro and the pre-intro, and I'm just going to jump straight into all of the news about the team, who's going to be available, and my squad and my predictions. So I've had a super busy last few days, hence why the RSL match recap video was uploaded a few days actually after the game. So sorry about that, and sorry about this one only being uploaded a few hours before kickoff. Kind of sucks. I've just been super busy, found it hard to find time to film and to edit them, so sorry about that. But thank you for all the continued support over the last few weeks. It's been unbelievable. Almost already at 100 subscribers. I think 97 before I'm doing this video, so thank you for all of that. It's super appreciated, makes me want to make more Timbers content. So let's jump right into it and begin by talking about which Timbers players are available for the Vancouver game. Now, it seems like I keep saying this every week, but we literally have fewer players than last week. It is ridiculous. I think this is the fewest players that we've ever had in an actual squad. Caleb Porter has said that it's the fewest players that he's ever managed in a squad, which is unbelievable. So I'll put up on a photo now the players that we have available and unavailable. So as you can see in this photo, we've got a load of scribbled lines, a load of red card kind of covered players and X's, and I'll tell you what they mean. So the scribbled lines means we've got players missing for international duty. The X on them means that they are just injured, and then the big blank orange cover over their faces means that they've got the red card and they were missing for the Vancouver game. So all of these players out for international duty are Powell, Matux, Guzman and Nagby. And out for injury we have Vitas, Kugo, Arakoyo, Chara, Farfan, Myers and Ridgewell. Quite ridiculous, so many players out. We are really down to a bare minimum. So I don't know if you guys remember, but a couple of weeks ago I was saying that the Timbers were so close to being able to use the MLS Extreme Hardship rule, where basically if you have fewer than 4 outfield players or substitutes, less than 14 outfield players available, then you can call up some players from your reserve team on a short-term deal. So as the Timbers only have 11 outfield players in their first team squad available and 3 goalkeepers, we're allowed to call up some players from T2, and that is exactly what we've done. So the Timbers have signed on a short-term deal Harold Hansen, a defender from T2, and Augustine Williams, a striker from T2. So both players have made over 10 starts for T2 this season and have actually featured for the first team in the US Open Cup when we played Seattle in mid-June, and Augustine Williams actually scored the lone goal when we lost 2-1. Signing these 2 players really does just highlight how thin our squad is at the moment. I mean, they're likely to just be on the bench to begin with the other 2 goalkeepers and the 1 first team outfield player. Now, whether they'll feature will probably depend on injuries and how players are going or how the game's going, because, you know, they have only made the 1 appearance in the first team so far, but it'll be interesting. I reckon Augustine Williams is likely to get a substitute appearance, especially for the striker, who's likely to be probably Ebabise, because we literally have nobody else to play up front. No one's a natural striker other than Ebabise and Augustine Williams. So it'll be interesting to see if Caleb Porter chooses to use them, and fair play to them. They've earned their call-ups to the squad, kind of almost is forced upon them really, the fact that we've got so many players out. But it's going to be a very, very tough game in Vancouver tonight. Let's take a moment to look at our opponents tonight, Vancouver, and look at their current form. In the last 6, they've won 3, drawn 2 and lost 1. Those last 2 wins, the last 2 games in the MLS have really kicked them up the table and put them in the playoffs with the other Cascadia teams. Both Portland, Seattle and Vancouver are all on 27 points inside the playoffs as I'm filming this video, I believe. And yeah, so at the minute Vancouver are doing really well. They're climbing up the table and they really don't have anyone out. No one is really injured. They've got 1 player out to international duty, Kendall Watson, one of their normal starters, I think. And then they've got a couple of injuries, but they're looking like season-ending injuries anyway. We've got an ACL tear and an MCL tear, so pretty bad stuff, but nothing like the Timbers injury report and international duty. It's quite ridiculous, the gap. And yeah, it's going to be a tough game. Vancouver, a very good team. Alstead in goal, I think he's a very good keeper, just like Romando. He's fantastic. Has also got the home advantage. But the Timbers, over the years, have had some good results in BP Place. I mean, if we look at the head-to-head here, overall, Vancouver had 4 wins and we've had 7 wins. And there's been 6 draws. Now, at BP Place, however, Vancouver have won 3 and we've won 3 with 2 draws. So it's pretty interesting to look at those sort of stats and see that we've actually done pretty well at BP Place over the years. So it'll be interesting to see how we do tonight, considering we've basically got only a quarter of the starting lineup available. So yeah, let's see how it goes. So moving on to the team that I would like to see start at BP Place tonight. Well, it's kind of the team that I would like to see, and it's kind of the team that is probably most likely going to start with everyone being out. In goal we have Gleeson. At the back we've got Valentino on the right, Olam and Mabiala in the middle, and Roy Miller on the left. Now, Club Porto come out in the press conference or an interview yesterday and said that Farfan won't be available, Vitas won't be available, and Chara is the only one that's kind of unlikely and we'll have to see over the next current days. They haven't really released anything over that, so he could be a surprise defensive midfielder. Now, we're kind of forced into choosing this back four as they're the only real ones with first team experience. We've got Reniko Clark as the backup centre-back and Hansen as defender as well. But yeah, this is the only team that we can really field at the back that have had constant first team experience. Be interested to see how Mabiala and Olam do as a centre-back partnership. Now, I've gone for Roy Miller on the left because he's previously played there before. So yeah, it's a defence that I've really been forced into doing or putting out, and I don't think it's too bad. It's not awful. I mean, they've had a week to train together, or a couple of days, so be interesting to see. It's going to be a tough one though, as ever. So Club Porto's got a real headache for himself. Now, in the central defensive midfield positions, I've gone for Barmby and Zemansky. Now, I could have gone with Zemansky and Valeri, and then put Barmby on the left and Blanco in the 10 position just in front of them two defensive midfielders. But I've gone for this one as I feel that Barmby could do a real good job in CDM. You know, he come on the other night and kind of played in a bit of a midfield role, got his goal, so he definitely deserves a start, and he's been kind of forced onto the pitch with all of these injuries and things like that. So be interesting to see how he does. Zemansky recently, I don't think he's played very well. I said last video that he's done okay, but last performance he did pretty poor. You know, again, I think that Beckham goal that I said in the post RSL video, he's got to press more. We've got to be more pressing on the midfielders, can't allow them too much space and time. And I'd like to see Valeri in front of them kind of drop a little bit deeper, not play so high up as the cam, not free roam, maybe stick to position, help Barmby and Zemansky out more. They need more help to press players and to close down the space and things like that. So as I've already kind of mentioned, the top four would be from the right, Asprilla, in the middle, Valeri, on the left, Blanco, and then up top, Ebabisse. Now, again, this is kind of an attacking lineup we've been forced into. Without Addy, because of his reckless red card, we're forced to having Ebabisse up top, who hasn't really had any first team experience, only a couple of appearances off the bench. So it'll be interesting to see how he does and how Club Porto changes the tactics for this game. I mean, normally we'd like to go down the wing and kind of cross it to Addy or hold him up, get some hold up play and bring in other players, or Valeri play through the middle. But I think we need to just keep everything through the goal and through the 18-yard box inside that, because if we go down the outside, I don't think Ebabisse has got the strength and the power to head past Alston in the defence. I think we're just going to have to play through the middle, keep it kind of compact and tight, use Valeri's quick speed of thought, and Barmby, he's a good player as well. I really like Barmby, and Blanco and Asprilla, you know, drive inside, have shots, just keep having shots, try and roll Ebabisse in because he's a very fast player, so can we find balls over the top or down through the defence? So be interesting to see what the tactics are, but that's what I'd say. Do not really go around on the outside and whip it in. Play through the middle, try and exploit the two centre-backs. So yeah, that was the team that I'd like to see, and now on to my score prediction. Now, taking things into account with all the players missing, how informed Vancouver are, it's a difficult one. I don't want to say that we're going to lose, but honestly, I'd take a draw. 100%, I'd take a 0-0 draw. I'd take a boring game as long as we just got a point. I don't know, I've got a feeling it could be a 1-1 draw, but I've also got the feeling that Vancouver are going to win 2-1 or 3-1. So I honestly don't know what to go with. My head's saying a Vancouver win, but the heart says a draw for the Timbers, which would be a good result. So I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. I'm going to lock that in. I'm going to say a 1-1 draw. Come on, Timbers, we've got to do a job. We're used to stepping up our game at BP Place, so can we do it? Cascadia rivals, we'll have to wait and see. A couple of hours now till kickoff. Cannot wait. For once, actually, tonight's game is on at a respectable time for me. It's on at 11:30 p.m. instead of 3:30 in the morning. That's because it's being broadcasted nationally in the States, I think on Fox Sports, meaning that I can't actually watch it on MLS Live. It's actually on TV here on Sky Sports, which helps me. Don't have to get up so early and can actually get some sleep. But yeah, thanks guys for watching. If you enjoyed it, do leave a like. And again, thank you for all the support recently. Sorry if this video seems kind of rushed, my speech and everything, and it's not edited up to the other video standards. I just want to get it out to you guys a couple of hours before kickoff, so you know what's in the squad. All that up to date, keeps you guys up to date about the Timbers and the team that you're likely to see tonight. But yeah, as always, let me know in the comments below if you disagreed with anything I said. You know, always interesting to see your guys' opinions, and subscribe for more Portland Timbers content, and I will see you in the Vancouver Whitecaps video, the recap of the match, hopefully a Timbers draw or maybe even a win. See you then. Thanks for watching.